The arrival of the mysterious fleets. In the quiet serenity of Earth, life went on as usual. The sun rose over cities bustling with people, each busy with their own lives. Children laughed and played, while adults rushed to work, oblivious to the unusual events unfolding beyond their atmosphere. But on that day, everything was about to change. In the vastness of space, a strange sight caught the attention of astronomers worldwide. Telescopes, pointed at the night sky, began to detect massive objects moving toward Earth. The first reports came in during the early hours, with scientists at the Global Space Observation Center in shock. They watched as a fleet of gigantic ships glided through space, their metallic surfaces glimmering like stars against the darkness. News spread quickly. By midday, every news outlet buzzed with images of the mysterious fleets. Headlines screamed, "Alien fleets approaching Earth." And what do they want? The world was captivated, yet fear lurked beneath the surface. Speculations ran wild. Were these ships here to conquer, to communicate, or to destroy? Governments activated their emergency protocols. Military forces were put on high alert, and leaders from around the globe gathered in emergency meetings. In the heart of the United Nations building, delegates from various nations discussed their options. Panic gripped the room as they considered the implications of such an arrival. Dr. Linda Carter, an esteemed astrophysicist, stood to address the assembly. Her voice was steady, but there was a hint of worry in her eyes. "We must remain calm and gather as much information as we can. We don't know their intentions yet." She emphasized the need for caution. Meanwhile, the world watched, glued to their screens. In the streets, people debated whether the fleets were a sign of hope or a harbinger of doom. Some believed it was humanity's chance to connect with extraterrestrial life, while others feared they were facing an imminent invasion. As night fell, the skies lit up with brilliant colors. The alien fleets were now visible without the aid of telescopes, creating an awe-inspiring spectacle. People gathered on rooftops and in open fields, pointing at the bright lights in the sky. Excitement mixed with fear. Some cheered, while others prayed for their safety. In the midst of this turmoil, a young boy named Alex stood on a hill with his father, gazing up at the alien ships. "Dad, do you think they will talk to us?" he asked, his eyes wide with wonder. "I hope so, son," his father replied, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "But we have to be ready for anything." As the days passed, scientists worked tirelessly to analyze the incoming fleets. Each ship varied in size and design, some resembling sleek, elegant forms, while others appeared more intimidating, with sharp angles and dark colors. They hovered near the orbit of the moon, creating a tense standoff. The situation intensified when a larger, more imposing ship broke away from the main fleet and approached Earth. It hovered just outside the atmosphere, casting a long shadow over the planet. Communication experts tried to establish contact, sending messages into the void. They hoped for a response, but the silence was deafening. Then, on the third day, something extraordinary happened. A broadcast began to transmit from the alien ship, flickering on screens around the world. People stared in disbelief as a figure appeared, humanoid in shape but with distinct features that set it apart. The being had large, expressive eyes and skin that shimmered with an iridescent glow. "People of Earth," the figure spoke, its voice resonating through speakers and radios. "We come in peace. We are the Zerthians, travelers of the galaxy, and we seek your understanding." The announcement sent shockwaves through the globe. Some cheered, believing this was the moment they had dreamed of, first contact with another civilization. Others remained cautious, their instincts warning them that danger lurked behind the words. Dr. Carter appeared on television, explaining the significance of this moment. "This is a historic occasion," she declared. "We must approach it with open minds, but also with vigilance. We cannot forget the lessons of our past." As the world debated, many felt an undercurrent of unease. Reports began to surface about other alien fleets that had recently vanished without a trace. News agencies scrambled to connect the dots, but no one had answers. The Zerthians had arrived, But what had happened to their fellow travelers? Days turned into a week, and tension mounted as the Zerthians remained in orbit. Earth was now on high alert, unsure of what the future would hold. Scientists and military leaders urged caution while the public clamored for action. Little did they know that this was just the beginning. The truth behind the mysterious fleets and their sudden disappearance loomed just out of reach. And as the Zerthians prepared to reveal more about their mission, the people of Earth held their breath, waiting for the next chapter in this cosmic saga to unfold. The stage was set for a confrontation, a partnership, or perhaps something unforeseen. Humanity stood at a crossroads, unaware of the challenges and adventures that lay ahead. What secrets would the arrival of the alien fleets reveal, and how would Earth respond to the unknown? The answers were closer than they thought, but for now, all they could do was wait. The Zerthian message. The world held its breath as the Zerthian figure on the screen continued to speak. Its voice, a blend of harmony and authority, resonated with both hope and apprehension. We come from a distant galaxy, seeking knowledge and understanding. We wish to share our wisdom and learn from your species. In homes across the globe, people watched in awe, some clutching their loved ones, while others exchanged nervous glances. Dr. Linda Carter, now a prominent figure in the media, felt a mixture of excitement and concern. "We have to remember to be cautious," she reminded the audience. "This could be an incredible opportunity, but we must also safeguard our planet." As the broadcast continued, the Zerthian explained that their kind had traveled the cosmos, visiting countless worlds. They had witnessed the rise and fall of civilizations and had seen the consequences of conflict. "We are here to prevent such outcomes on Earth. We seek to form an alliance," the Zerthian declared, its shimmering eyes glistening with sincerity. However, not everyone was convinced. In the shadows, a group of military leaders and politicians whispered among themselves. They expressed doubts about the Zerthians' true intentions, fearing the aliens might have ulterior motives. "We need to be ready for anything," one general insisted, his voice low but firm. "We cannot let our guard down." Meanwhile, the general public was divided. Social media exploded with opinions. Some hailed the Zerthians as saviors, while others viewed them with suspicion. Protests erupted in some cities, demanding that Earth defend itself against potential threats. Yet, in quieter moments, there were those who believed in the possibility of friendship and cooperation. Among the crowds, a young girl named Mia sat with her parents, her heart full of hope. "What if they can help us?" she whispered to her mother, her eyes wide with wonder. "What if they can stop wars and make the world better?" Her mother smiled gently but looked concerned. "We have to be careful, sweetie. It's good to hope, but we need to see what happens next." In the days that followed, the Zerthians sent detailed messages, offering technology and knowledge to help solve Earth's biggest problems, including climate change and disease. They promised to share their advanced understanding of the universe if humanity accepted their partnership. The United Nations called for a global assembly to discuss the Zerthian proposal. Dr. Carter was invited to present her findings, and she prepared meticulously. The meeting drew representatives from every corner of the globe, united in curiosity but divided in opinion. On the day of the assembly, the room buzzed with anticipation. Cameras flashed as delegates took their seats. The Zerthian image appeared once again, this time with a backdrop of stars, an awe-inspiring sight that took everyone's breath away. Dr. Carter stood before the assembly, her heart racing. "We are at a pivotal moment in history," she began, her voice steady. "The Zerthians offer us knowledge and friendship. We should embrace this opportunity to learn and grow as a species." A representative from a powerful nation stood up, his brow furrowed. "But how can we trust them? What if they come to dominate us? We must consider the consequences of any agreement." The Zerthian figure responded calmly. "We do not wish to dominate. We come as equals to share and learn. We know that the strength of your species lies in your creativity and resilience. Together, we can create a brighter future." As the discussions continued, The atmosphere shifted. The delegates debated passionately, weighing the benefits against the risks. Some saw the potential for a new age of cooperation, while others were anchored in skepticism. Back on the streets, the public buzzed with excitement. People gathered in cafes and parks, discussing the possible partnership. Some organized events, hoping to welcome the Xerthians as friends. Maya and her classmates wrote letters to the Xerthians, expressing their hopes for peace and collaboration. But behind the scenes, tensions brewed. Reports surfaced about other alien fleets that had vanished mysteriously. The military was on high alert, monitoring the situation closely. They had detected unusual energy signatures in the vicinity, and concerns about potential threats lingered in the air. Days turned into weeks, and finally, the United Nations reached a decision. They would initiate preliminary discussions with the Xerthians, focusing on shared knowledge and collaboration. The world watched with bated breath as the two civilizations prepared to engage in what could be a monumental partnership. As the day approached for the first official meeting with the Xerthians, an air of hope and apprehension enveloped the planet. Would this be the dawn of a new era, or were they inviting danger into their midst? The questions loomed large, casting a shadow over humanity's future. On the day of the meeting, the atmosphere was electric. The Xerthians transmitted a holographic image of their leader, a wise figure with an aura of calm authority. "We are eager to begin our journey together," the Xerthian leader said, their voice echoing across the assembly room. "Let us explore the possibilities of what we can achieve together." As the representatives exchanged looks of uncertainty and excitement, humanity stood on the brink of the unknown. With their hearts racing, they took the first step toward a partnership that could change the course of history. But as the meeting unfolded, little did they know that the truth about the mysterious vanishing fleets was about to reveal itself in ways they never expected. Secrets unveiled. As the first meeting between humanity and the Xerthians unfolded, a sense of anticipation filled the air. The delegates sat at a long table, their eyes glued to the holographic image of the Xerthian leader, who radiated an aura of wisdom and calm. The conversation began with discussions of technology and cooperation, but beneath the surface, tension simmered. Dr. Linda Carter had spent countless hours preparing for this moment. She was determined to ensure that humanity's interests were safeguarded while exploring the potential of this unprecedented alliance. "We must understand the Xerthians' technology, their history, and their motivations," she thought, her mind racing with possibilities. As the meeting progressed, the Xerthians presented their advanced technologies. They displayed holographic images of sustainable energy sources, medical advancements, and agricultural techniques that could revolutionize life on Earth. "This is merely the beginning," the Xerthian leader assured the assembly. "With your creativity and our knowledge, we can forge a new path forward." While many in the room were impressed, whispers of doubt circulated. A representative from a powerful nation leaned over to a colleague and muttered, "What if this is all a ruse? What if they want to strip us of our resources?" Linda noticed the unease and tried to refocus the conversation. "We must remember that our strength lies in unity and collaboration," she stated, her voice steady. "Let's take small steps and evaluate how we can work together without compromising our sovereignty." As discussions continued, one delegate raised a crucial question. "What about the disappearing fleets? There have been reports of alien vessels vanishing near Earth. Can you explain this, Xerthians?" The Xerthian leader's expression shifted slightly, revealing a hint of concern. "We were aware of those incidents," they admitted. "There are forces in the universe that seek to disrupt peace. Some fleets may have vanished due to encounters with these entities. We wish to protect your planet from such threats." This revelation sent a ripple of anxiety through the assembly. The representative from a neighboring country interjected, "How can we trust you when we don't fully understand what's happening? What if you are involved in these disappearances?" Dr. Carter felt the room's atmosphere darken. "Let's approach this with an open mind," she urged. "We need to understand what is happening before jumping to conclusions." As the meeting adjourned, Linda felt a mix of hope and concern. The Zerthians had offered humanity a chance at advancement, but the cloud of uncertainty loomed large. The public's trust was delicate, and she knew that the truth about the vanished fleets could shape their perception. Later that evening, she returned to her lab, hoping to dive deeper into the Zerthians' data. The screens flickered to life as she examined their technology. The hologram showed not only advanced energy sources, but also star maps detailing their travels across galaxies. Among them, she noticed a series of markers indicating the locations of the disappearing fleets. "What are you hiding?" she muttered under her breath, intrigued yet wary. She spent hours analyzing the data, trying to piece together the puzzle. Suddenly, a pattern emerged. The vanished fleets were concentrated near a particular sector of space, one that was marked with warnings. Curiosity piqued, Linda decided to investigate further. She reached out to her contacts in the military and other scientific communities, requesting information about the alien fleet's disappearances. In the coming days, as news spread of Linda's inquiries, a sense of urgency grew. The world needed answers. Meanwhile, the Zerthians continued their efforts to establish goodwill. They visited schools, shared knowledge, and even offered to assist in environmental restoration projects. Humanity watched as the aliens interacted with children and communities, fostering a sense of connection. Many began to see the Zerthians as friends. However, in the background, intelligence reports surfaced, revealing strange energy readings near the areas where fleets had vanished. The military took notice, scrambling to monitor these anomalies. Dr. Carter received word that a task force would be sent to investigate, and she was invited to join. Finally, we might get some answers, she thought, her heart racing with anticipation and anxiety. The mission was set to launch the following week, and preparations were underway. Linda spent hours gathering research and collaborating with scientists, ready to uncover the truth. On the day of the mission, she stood alongside military personnel and scientists in a bustling command center. The atmosphere was charged with excitement and uncertainty. As the spaceship prepared for launch, Linda's thoughts turned to the Zerthians. Were they truly allies, or was there a hidden agenda? As the ship ascended into the sky, Linda felt a sense of purpose. She was determined to find answers about the alien fleets and understand the mysterious forces at play. The truth, she believed, would shed light on humanity's future with the Zerthians. Would they be protectors, or were they entangled in a web of cosmic deception? With each passing moment, the ship soared farther into the unknown, leaving behind the familiar world they had known. As they approached the area marked on the Zerthian maps, tension filled the air. They would soon uncover the secrets lurking in the depths of space. But what awaited them on this journey could change everything for humanity and their newfound allies. Into the unknown. As the spaceship glided through the vastness of space, Linda Carter felt a mix of awe and trepidation. The darkness outside was punctuated by the shimmering lights of distant stars, and the ship's instruments hummed softly, guiding them toward the designated coordinates. The anticipation in the air was palpable as the crew prepared for what lay ahead. "All systems are functioning optimally," the pilot announced, his voice calm yet tinged with excitement. "We should reach the anomaly in approximately 30 minutes. Linda glanced at the screens displaying data collected from the Zerthians. The energy readings were unlike anything they had encountered before. She had spent countless hours poring over the information, trying to find patterns and potential explanations. Now it felt surreal to be flying directly into the heart of a mystery. Beside her, Commander Harris, the military officer in charge of the mission, was focused and composed. "We need to be cautious," he advised the crew. "We don't know what we're walking into. Prepare for potential contact." As they approached the coordinates, the ship's sensors began to pick up unusual signals. The readings fluctuated wildly, creating a sense of urgency among the crew. Linda's heart raced. What could be causing these anomalies? "Captain, we're picking up strange energy pulses," the science officer reported, her brow furrowing in concentration. It appears to be fluctuating, almost like a heartbeat. Can you determine the source? Commander Harris asked, leaning closer to the screen. I'm trying, but the interference is making it difficult, she replied. It's coming from a cluster of asteroids ahead. It could be a natural phenomenon, but it doesn't match any known patterns. As they neared the cluster, the ship began to shake slightly. Linda grasped the console, trying to steady herself. What's happening? She called out. Adjusting course to avoid debris, the pilot replied, his fingers flying over the controls. The ship maneuvered skillfully, navigating around the floating rocks that surrounded them. Linda held her breath, hoping they wouldn't encounter any unforeseen dangers. Once they cleared the immediate danger, the crew's attention shifted back to the readings. The energy pulses intensified as they entered the asteroid field, and the atmosphere inside the ship became electric with tension. Everyone felt the weight of the unknown pressing down on them. Prepare for visual contact, Commander Harris ordered, his voice steady despite the circumstances. We need to see what we're dealing with. The ship's external cameras activated, projecting live images onto the monitors. The asteroids loomed large, casting eerie shadows as they floated in the dark. And then, they saw it, a faint, pulsating light emanating from the center of the cluster. It flickered like a distant star, and Linda felt an overwhelming urge to understand its source. There it is, she exclaimed, pointing at the screen. That's where the energy readings are coming from. On screen, Harris commanded. The image zoomed in, revealing a colossal structure partially hidden among the asteroids. It was unlike anything Linda had ever seen. The structure appeared to be a massive gateway, intricately designed with alien symbols and glowing lines of energy coursing through it. It pulsed rhythmically, creating the very signals they had detected. Is that a Zerthian construct? One of the scientists wondered aloud, but Linda shook her head. I don't think so. This is something entirely different. Before she could elaborate, the ship's alarms blared, and the crew rushed to respond. We're detecting a massive energy surge, the science officer shouted. It's coming from the structure. Brace for impact. Commander Harris commanded, his voice rising above the chaos. The crew quickly secured themselves, and Linda's heart raced as she prepared for whatever was about to unfold. In an instant, a blinding light enveloped the ship, and they were engulfed in a wave of energy that felt both exhilarating and terrifying. The ship shook violently, and alarms blared as they were thrown around inside. Linda fought to maintain her grip on the console, her mind racing with thoughts of the unknown. As quickly as it had begun, the light faded and the ship stabilized. Linda blinked, trying to regain her bearings. The monitors flickered back to life, but the readings were now incomprehensible. What just happened? She gasped, looking around at her crewmates, who were equally stunned. Commander, we've lost contact with Earth, the pilot reported, his face pale. Our communication systems are down. Panic surged through the crew. Linda felt a chill run down her spine. What does this mean for us? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. It means we're stranded, Harris replied, his expression grim. But we can't leave without investigating that structure. It may hold the key to understanding the disappearing fleets. As the crew processed this information, Linda felt a mix of dread and determination. They were now thrust into a new reality, one where they had to confront the secrets of the universe without any backup. The stakes had never been higher. Let's gather our equipment and prepare to explore the structure, she said, her resolve strengthening. Whatever we find inside may change everything. The crew moved swiftly, gathering tools and gear as they prepared to disembark. Linda's heart raced with a mix of fear and excitement. They were about to uncover the truth behind the vanishing alien fleets, but at what cost? The journey into the unknown was fraught with dangers, and they would need every ounce of courage to face what awaited them inside the mysterious gateway. Entering the gateway. The crew of the Starbreaker gathered in the airlock, their hearts pounding in unison. Linda Carter adjusted her gear, checking the connections on her suit, and making sure the oxygen levels were stable. She could see the apprehension etched on her crewmates' faces. They were about to enter a realm of the unknown, one that could hold answers to the mysterious disappearances of alien fleets. "Remember, we stick together," Commander Harris reminded everyone, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. "We don't know what we're dealing with inside that structure. Stay alert." Linda nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. They were not just exploring for themselves, but also for the many species that had vanished without a trace. The galaxy was counting on them to uncover the truth. With a hiss, the airlock doors opened, revealing the shimmering gateway beyond. The structure loomed ahead, pulsating with energy that felt both inviting and intimidating. A soft hum resonated in the air, and Linda could feel it vibrating through her suit. "Let's go," Harris said, stepping forward first. The rest of the crew followed, crossing the threshold into the unknown. As they stepped inside, the atmosphere shifted. The light was dimmer here, illuminated only by the strange glow emanating from the walls. The interior was vast, with high ceilings and arches that seemed to stretch endlessly. Intricate carvings adorned the surfaces, depicting scenes of alien ships, battles, and celestial bodies. Linda gazed in awe. "This place is incredible," she whispered, unable to contain her excitement. "It feels like we've stepped into a different world." "Stay focused," Harris reminded her, glancing around cautiously. "Let's scan the area for any signs of life or technology." The science officer activated her equipment, and a series of beeps echoed in the air as she took readings. "There's a powerful energy source ahead," she reported. "It seems to be coming from a central chamber." "Lead the way," Harris said, and the team began to navigate the maze-like corridors, keeping their senses sharp. As they ventured deeper into the structure, Linda couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Shadows flitted just beyond the corners of her vision, and she could hear faint whispers echoing through the halls. Was it her imagination, or was there something else in this place? Suddenly, the team entered a grand chamber, and Linda's breath caught in her throat. The room was enormous, with towering pillars and a massive circular platform at its center. In the middle of the platform was a swirling mass of energy, vibrant and pulsating, radiating an otherworldly glow. "This must be the core," Linda exclaimed, taking a cautious step closer. "It's unlike anything I've ever seen." The crew gathered around the platform, mesmerized by the beauty of the energy swirling above them. It shifted colors, from deep blues to bright greens, and seemed to respond to their presence. "Can you identify its source?" Harris asked the science officer, who was frantically scanning the readings. "I'm trying, but the energy signatures are all over the place," she replied, her voice strained. "It's almost as if it's alive." Just then, the swirling energy erupted, sending a shockwave through the chamber. The crew stumbled back, bracing themselves against the platform. The pulsating light intensified, casting eerie shadows on the walls. "What's happening?" Linda shouted over the noise. "I don't know. It's like it's reacting to us," the science officer replied, her eyes wide with fear. The energy began to form shapes, swirling and coalescing into what appeared to be images of ships, alien fleets from various races, all trapped within the light. Linda's heart sank. They were witnessing the fates of the very fleets they had come to investigate. "Look," she pointed, her voice trembling. "Those are the fleets." It's like a visual record of what happened to them. The images shifted rapidly, showing the ships entering the gateway, then vanishing into the light. A sense of dread settled over the crew as they realized the implications. "This energy source is a trap," Harris shouted. "It's pulling ships in and keeping them here." Before they could react, a voice echoed through the chamber. It was deep and resonant, sending chills down their spines. "Why have you come here?" The crew exchanged alarmed glances, their hearts racing. Linda took a step forward, her voice steady despite her fear. "We seek to understand why alien fleets have been disappearing near Earth. We are here to find answers." The energy pulsed once more, And the voice continued, "You are not meant to be here. You are intruding on a domain that is beyond your understanding. We didn't mean any harm." Linda pleaded, "We want to help. Please, let us understand." Silence enveloped the chamber, and for a moment, Linda feared they had made a grave mistake. But then the energy shifted, swirling faster and forming a new image, a vast, dark void filled with stars and distant galaxies. "This is the true nature of the galaxy," the voice intoned. "Beyond this gateway lies knowledge, power, and danger. Many have come seeking its secrets, but few have returned." Linda felt a mix of fear and determination. "We have to find a way to free those fleets. We can't let them remain trapped." "Your courage is admirable," the voice responded. "But the path you choose will come with great sacrifice." The energy shifted again, and the chamber darkened. Linda's heart raced as she faced the uncertainty ahead. The crew had stumbled upon a force greater than they had ever imagined, and now they had to decide whether to delve deeper into the unknown or retreat to safety. As the voice faded, the swirling energy began to stabilize, presenting them with a choice. Step forward into the swirling mass of knowledge or retreat and leave the mystery unsolved. They were on the brink of a monumental decision, one that could change the course of their lives and the fate of countless civilizations. Linda glanced at her crewmates, searching for strength in their eyes. They had come this far, and the truth awaited them. "Let's do this," she said, her voice firm. "Together." With that, they stepped forward into the swirling energy, ready to face whatever lay ahead in the depths of the unknown. The descent into knowledge. As Linda and her crew stepped into the swirling energy, the sensation was unlike anything they had ever experienced. It felt as if they were being pulled apart and reassembled at the same time. Colors flashed before their eyes, blues, greens, and purples swirling together in a cosmic dance that left them breathless. The energy enveloped them, cocooning them in warmth and light. For a moment, they felt weightless, floating through a vast sea of stars. Then, in a heartbeat, the sensation changed. They were no longer in the grand chamber. They stood on a strange, otherworldly landscape. "Where are we?" Linda asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The ground beneath them shimmered like glass, reflecting a sky filled with swirling galaxies and nebulae. It was beautiful and disorienting. "I think we're inside the energy," the science officer replied, scanning her surroundings. "It's like we've been transported to another realm." The crew turned to find themselves surrounded by ethereal beings, wisps of light that floated effortlessly, their forms shifting and changing. These entities seemed to observe the humans, their luminescent shapes pulsing with an intelligence that was both ancient and wise. "Welcome, travelers," a voice resonated through the air, echoing within their minds. "You have dared to enter the nexus of knowledge. Few have ventured this far." Linda's heart raced at the sight of the beings. "Who are you?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. "We are the Keepers," the voice explained, "guardians of the truths that bind the galaxies. You seek answers, yet the knowledge you desire comes with a price." "What kind of price?" Harris questioned, his brow furrowed in concern. The crew exchanged anxious glances, the weight of their choice hanging heavily in the air. "To acquire knowledge, you must confront your deepest fears and your most profound truths," the voice replied. "Only then can you comprehend the fate of the fleets that have vanished near your world." As the Keepers spoke, the landscape around them began to change. They saw visions of ships entering the Nexus, each one marked with the emblem of a different alien race. Each ship flickered like a candle in the wind before it disappeared, leaving only a dark void in its wake. "This is what we feared," Linda murmured. "They came seeking knowledge, just like us." "Yes," the voice echoed, the air shimmering with energy. "But knowledge can corrupt and consume those who are unprepared. You must be willing to face the darkness within yourselves to find the light of understanding." Linda took a deep breath, her heart racing. She understood the stakes. "What do we need to do?" she asked, determination filling her voice. The keepers gestured, and the ground beneath them transformed again. They found themselves standing in a vast hall filled with mirrors, each one reflecting different versions of themselves. Some showed them as heroic figures, while others displayed fears and regrets. "Choose a mirror," the voice instructed. "Your journey to knowledge begins with self-reflection. Only by confronting your own truths can you hope to understand the truths of others." Linda stepped forward, drawn to a mirror that shimmered like a starry night. As she gazed into it, her reflection changed. She saw herself standing on a battlefield, her hands stained with the blood of those she had fought against. The weight of loss and guilt pressed down on her chest. "Is this what I am?" she whispered, tears brimming in her eyes. "A warrior who destroys instead of saves." The mirror rippled, showing glimpses of her past, moments of joy, sorrow, and choices that had shaped her life. She could see the faces of her friends and family, and the sacrifices made in the name of peace. "You are defined by your choices," the voice reminded her. "What will you choose now?" Taking a deep breath, Linda spoke with conviction. "I choose to protect and defend. I will not let fear dictate my actions." The mirror shattered, and the shards fell away, revealing a new landscape, one of hope and unity, where beings of all kinds work together to create a brighter future. The other crew members stepped forward, each confronting their own reflections, facing fears that had haunted them for years. The science officer saw herself in a laboratory, paralyzed by the fear of failure. Harris faced the shadows of past decisions, realizing that every choice had led him to this moment. One by one, they shattered their mirrors, releasing the burdens they had carried. Each time, the energy around them grew stronger, illuminating the path forward. "Together, you have embraced your truths," the keepers announced, their forms swirling with approval. "You are ready to understand the fate of the fleets. Follow us." With renewed determination, the crew followed the keepers as they moved through the Nexus. The landscape shifted again, revealing a vast library filled with scrolls and holographic displays of information. The knowledge of countless civilizations lay before them, waiting to be uncovered. "You will find the answers you seek here," the voice continued. "But remember, with knowledge comes responsibility. Use it wisely." Linda felt a surge of excitement and fear as they stepped into the library. She could feel the weight of the galaxy's expectations upon them. "We will," she promised, glancing at her crewmates, who nodded in agreement. As they began to explore the vast archives, Linda couldn't help but wonder what secrets lay hidden within the ancient texts. They were on the brink of uncovering the truth behind the vanishing fleets, a truth that could change the fate of the galaxy forever. Together, they delved into the knowledge of the Nexus, ready to face the challenges ahead and unlock the mysteries that awaited them. The path to understanding was fraught with danger, but they were no longer just explorers. They were guardians of truth, ready to confront whatever lay beyond the veil of knowledge. The revelation of the vanished fleets. The crew stood in awe as they navigated through the vast library of the Nexus, surrounded by swirling lights and intricate displays of knowledge. Each scroll they touched seemed to pulse with energy, as if the very essence of the galaxy was contained within its fibers. They could feel the weight of countless civilizations resting on their shoulders. Linda moved cautiously through the aisles, her fingers grazing over the delicate materials. Her heart raced with anticipation, and she felt a deep sense of purpose. They were here to uncover the truth about the alien fleets that had mysteriously vanished near Earth. "Look at this," Harris exclaimed, pointing to a holographic projection that flickered to life above a pedestal. It showed a star map, with several points blinking ominously. "These are the last known locations of the fleets before they disappeared." The map revealed a pattern, a series of routes that led towards a pulsating dark area at the edge of the galaxy. Linda's breath caught in her throat as she recognized the place. "That's the Nexus." They were drawn to it, just like we were. The science officer joined them, her eyes widening in realization. "It's like a trap. The Nexus is a source of immense energy and knowledge, but it could also be dangerous. They gathered around the projection, studying the map intently. The points of disappearance formed a web, linking various civilizations. Linda could feel the weight of the implications. They were not just uncovering the fate of alien fleets, but also revealing the interconnectedness of their existence. "Let's investigate further," Linda urged, determined to find the answers. She pointed to a cluster of records nearby. "We should see what these fleets were seeking. Perhaps their knowledge can guide us." The crew dispersed, searching through the shelves filled with data and records. Each discovery added a piece to the puzzle. Linda found a scroll depicting the history of an ancient race, the Voltarians, who had been powerful and wise, but ultimately fell to their own ambition. As she read, she realized the tragic pattern. The Voltarians had sought knowledge to enhance their power, but it corrupted them. The records indicated that they had attempted to harness the energy of the Nexus, only to be consumed by it. Their fleets vanished, leaving behind ruins and legends. "This is it," Linda said, her voice steady. "The other fleets must have sought the same power, hoping to unlock secrets they couldn't comprehend." Harris joined her, examining another scroll. "They'd probably believed they could control it. But the Nexus doesn't allow itself to be controlled. It takes what it needs to protect its secrets." The science officer returned, her face pale. "It's worse than we thought. The fleets didn't just disappear. They were absorbed by the Nexus. They became part of its energy, its guardians. The very knowledge they sought turned against them." Linda felt a chill run down her spine. The idea of fleets, entire civilizations, reduced to mere echoes of energy was haunting. "We need to warn Earth. If we're drawn to the Nexus without understanding its dangers, we could meet the same fate." The realization hit them hard. They were not just explorers. They were now potential victims of the very knowledge they sought. "What can we do?" Harris asked, his voice trembling slightly. "We need to find a way to navigate the Nexus safely," Linda replied, her determination rising. "If we can unlock its secrets without succumbing to its pull, we might be able to protect ourselves and others." As they gathered their findings, a deep humming filled the library. The keepers appeared, their forms shimmering with an ethereal glow. "You have uncovered the truth," one of them spoke, their voice echoing in their minds. "But with knowledge comes great responsibility. Will you choose to use this knowledge for peace or power?" Linda stepped forward, her heart racing. "We choose peace. We want to protect our world and others from the fate of those who came before us." The keepers regarded her with an intensity that felt like they were peering into her very soul. "Your choice will shape the destiny of many. The Nexus holds both knowledge and danger. To navigate its depths requires wisdom and humility." The crew exchanged glances, their determination renewed. They understood the gravity of their decision. "We're ready," Linda affirmed, her voice steady. The keepers raised their hands, and the energy of the library surged. A portal of swirling light opened before them, revealing a path that glimmered with potential. "Follow the path of knowledge and truth, and you will find the answers you seek. But remember, your journey is just beginning." With a deep breath, Linda stepped forward, leading her crew through the portal. As they crossed the threshold, they felt a surge of energy wash over them, filling them with newfound strength and understanding. The swirling light enveloped them, transporting them to the heart of the Nexus. They emerged into a vast chamber filled with pulsating energy. Here, the very fabric of knowledge intertwined with raw power. "Welcome to the heart of the Nexus," a new voice echoed, resonating with the strength of 1,000 stars. "You have chosen to face the truth. Prepare to unlock the mysteries that lie ahead." With their resolve stronger than ever, Linda and her crew stood at the threshold of a new adventure. They were determined to harness the knowledge of the Nexus to protect their world and unravel the secrets of the vanishing fleets. Together, they would navigate the depths of the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in their quest for understanding.